It's the Broadway Show, the place to find the biggest shows and stars of Broadway. I'm Tamsen Fadal.
All aboard the Emerald City!
The biggest movie of the holiday season is positively Broadway. It's Wicked Part 1, starring Cynthia Erivo and Ariana Grande. Let's send it out to Paul Wontorek.
You both got your start on Broadway, and now you're a part of maybe the biggest Broadway to Hollywood adaptation I can remember. You're everywhere. You're on every street corner. You're in my algorithm. I mean, like, it's a lot. How is it for you guys to be in the center of all this?
We're following you guys home and into the cereal boxes, and you look under your bed, and we're like, "Hi, have you seen it yet?"
You know, all of that stuff.
Sorry
Yeah.
about it.
But it's been insane and wonderful, and we're really, really lucky to be a part of this huge, legendary thing that has come, you know, made by architects such as Kristen and Adina, and we're just sort of the babies that get to carry on this legacy.
You both know what it's like to be in a Broadway company and to sort of come from that world. And you think about Wicked and how long it's run and how many actresses have gotten to do these roles and say these lines and sing these songs. What do you want them to know about this project and what this means to you?
Well, I think that we carried them in our hearts every step of the way.
Very much so.
You know, we are a part of this big family.
Yeah.
You know, Glinda and Elphaba, we get to share forever with these beautiful performers, and so many women have loved them the way that we love them, and we're lucky to be a part of that family.
And then our intention was to really take care of them and, you know, keep the legacy going on for them and us as well. Yeah.
And they've been so beautiful with us.
They've
been so supportive.
Truly.
Yeah.
How does it feel to be here? I mean, this movie is about to be handed over to the fans that you know very well. You know these Wicked fans. How does it feel to now be handing it to them?
Really good. Full circle moment. I can speak for Adina. We both feel very proud. I just hoped that they would do a movie one day, and then I hoped that I would be alive to see it. And I'm alive to see it, and I'm so happy. I'm very emotional about it. Very emotional because those girls are, you know, they are singing. We knew they'd be great singers, but the acting, that's what I always care about more than anything. And that's what I'm so happy. The story is the star. John did such a beautiful job in giving homage, a love letter to our show.
You've been working on this for a very long time. You know what these Wicked fans are like. What's it like to think that you're handing this to them?
It's so fun. Like, I have the best job in the world. Like, I can't really say that in front of all the cameras, but between you and everyone there, you guys know, like, I've been waiting for this movie for 20 years. I'm like, why are they not making it? I knew exactly what to protect, at least in my mind, and I knew what it needed for me in the movie. So the fact that we got to do it, and I didn't know if other people out there who love musicals and love this musical would agree with me, and maybe they won't on everything, but it's been really fun to hear their feedback. I mean, to have them cheering on their feet for Defying Gravity at the end. Cynthia and Ariana are a revelation. You think you know them. You think, I mean, all this stuff, when we first hired them, it was like, oh, they wait until they see what they can do, because I've seen it in the room. And now that's on Captured Forever, I'm just so blessed and very, very thankful.
Hi, I'm Alexandra Socha.
And I'm Mary-Kate Morrissey.
And we're in Wicked on Broadway.
And this is for good.
Because I knew you. Because I knew you. I have been changed for good. And just to clear the air, I ask forgiveness for the things I've done you blame me for. But then I guess we know there's blame to share, and none of it seems to matter anymore. Like a comic book shore, as it passes a single end off the sea. Like a stream that needs a boulder, floating the wood. Who can say if I've been changed for the better? I do believe I have been changed for the better. And because I knew you, because I knew you, because I knew you, I have been changed
Hey!
You should join us tonight. And don't tell me you have nothing to wear, because you could wear this.
Because we're all things Wicked, we'll meet the designer of the incredible costumes, Paul Tazewell. Let's send it out to Beth Stevens.
Wicked is a Broadway blockbuster. Glinda and Elphaba are iconic characters, and you knew that going into this. So how did you approach taking on designing Wicked the movie?
As John was inviting me to design this movie of Wicked, he also said that we want to give it its own original look and feel and have it feel fresh and just have a different point of view.
How did you manage balancing what we know, what's familiar, with reimagining and coming up with your own stamp?
I think that what was important for me most was to capture the spirit that's been established by the original Wicked, and then also echo some of the icons that are from the Wizard of Oz film. Essentially, that is Gregory Maguire's approach to the novel and how he turns the idea of the Wizard of Oz on its head in order to give us a backstory for who Elphaba and Glinda are and how we see good versus evil and who the Wicked Witch of the West actually is. Then, just really take that on and feel it so that I can then project what I would want to see.
In what ways, if any, did you collaborate with the stars Cynthia Erivo and Ariana Grande?
Both Cynthia and Ariana are huge fashion icons themselves. I mean, they love clothing. Every time that we would have a fitting, they would walk in with some other piece that was fabulous. They know how to wear clothes very well, and they know what looks good on them. The fact that they love wearing clothes, it's like right up my alley, and I want to please them and be able to help to evoke what this new vision of their characters is going to be.
It's another must-see show and another star-studded opening night on Broadway. Lashes, liner, and so much more. The story of televangelist icon Tammy Faye Bakker. It's now open on Broadway. Tammy Faye features a stacked cast and songs from Elton John and Scissor Sisters frontman Jake Shears. The stars were out for opening night.
I think it's really important at this time we're living in at the moment, especially in America and the rest of the world, where there's so much hate and violence and we all seem to be so far apart. Tammy was an example of inclusivity. She forgave people, she embraced people, she had no bias, racism, she welcomed everybody. And the world needs to learn a lesson from that right now.
Elton John, I feel like, we all grew up with him. It's like he's the music of so many generations, and he's like, I was listening to one of his songs the other day, and my child was singing along, and I was like, it's unbelievable to be doing a show written by him. He's indefinable. His skill and his ability to touch you emotionally, I think, is just unbelievable.
It's an honor to sing it. I feel a great sense of responsibility. I'm glad that they think I'm doing okay. And Jake Shears' lyrics, I hear something new every day. And I actually discovered there's a lyric that Jake wrote in our first song, If Only Love, which defines my character, Jim Bakker. And I was having trouble finding my way in, and then this one lyric did it all. And so, thank you, Jake.
It's time to take a walk with a Broadway star, so let's send it out to Charlie Cooper.
All right, so Sky, thank you so much for joining us. I'm super excited to be here with you because, number one, your role is incredible. The show, The Outsiders, freaking-credible. The Tony Award, all of the things.
Yeah.
Have you come down from the cloud?
Not yet.
Is it even possible?
I don't think it's possible. 6 months in, I'm still like, what is going on? Is this my life? Yeah, it's wild.
I can only imagine. Yeah. I'm super excited to walk you to work. Let's get there because I know you have a show to do.
Yeah.
I know for you, The Outsiders was a pivotal book. I feel like this is such a sacred story with so many people growing up on it. How do you make the character your own while still kind of giving the people what they want, what they're used to reading about?
I think I kind of stole a little bit from Ralph Macchio, and then I took all of myself and sort of poured it into Johnny, and with the blessing of S.E. Hinton, I was allowed to do that, I'm Native American, as you know, and so bringing my culture into the role was a big thing for me, and Danya Tamor, amazing director, allowed me to do that as well, so yeah.
Do you remember that moment where you learned about you guys winning the Tony?
Oh my God.
What did that feel like for you?
Well, first, Danya Tamor won, and like, I don't think anyone was expecting that to happen as much as we all wanted it to happen. When they called her name, we all just like freaked out, and I was like, maybe we can actually win this thing. And when they said it, I left my body. I mean, like, I don't remember walking up to the stage, but I remember being on the stage with Angelina Jolie and just being like, we actually won this thing.
Yeah.
'Cause I worked on the show for 6 years. You just don't know if it's ever gonna happen. You know?
Right, right.
Yeah.
Well deserved, honestly. Incredible, incredible show, incredible performance. And listen, we're at your office.
Here we are.
Here we are.
At the Outsiders on Broadway.
Exactly. Well, break a leg, and thank you so much,
Thank you
Sky.
so much. So good to see you.
So great seeing you too.
Bye.
Bye.
This is a Broadway show, and we're back in just a few. Buddy the Elf is back on Broadway. It's Elf the Musical, starring Gray Henson from Shucked and Mean Girls in the title role. We just celebrated Elf's opening night.
The show, I think, is so needed right now, and I know it could so easily be written off as silly and stupid and fun, but the adaptation that they wrote, I think, has so much heart, more than I ever expected. I'd never seen it on stage before I started rehearsals. Everyone knows this movie. Everyone loves this movie. I love this movie. So people come in with expectations of what it's going to be, but the changes and the new lines and the jokes here and there, those are the ones that I love hearing people react to, because nobody's expecting that.
When I'm sitting in the Santa chair, every now and then I can see people, and I can see the little kids, and they're not blinking. They don't want to blink. They don't want to miss anything. They believe they are in it, and they are. And that's what you're, when you're in the moment, that's what you're doing it for. You just want to make sure that that little kid, you know, when you see him afterwards at the stage door, that they have the one, except I don't have the beard on, and they're like, you're not Santa. Where's Santa?
Once Upon a Mattress is back on Broadway, and Tony winner Sutton Foster stars as Princess Winifred. Take a look.
My name is Sutton Foster. I play Princess Winifred in Once Upon a Mattress. Princess Winifred, she is a princess from the swamplands. She is one of a kind, full of energy, optimism, hope, love. Her first big number in the show is a song called Shy, where she's trying to, you know, make everyone feel comfortable around her by saying, you know, I'm also really shy, which is the opposite of what she is. But one of the things Michael Urie suggested is that maybe where she comes from, she actually is the shyest person. I love to imagine that she's from a land of just really outgoing, outlandish characters who have a real appetite for life. It's a character that has no boundaries. Also, I also think of her as like a very close talker, super curious, unafraid to touch people, and she talks really fast, and she just really has a hunger. She's very hungry, and so she's really fun to play. This show specifically is incredibly physical, but I feel like all the roles that I have played are physical, and a lot of her physicality has come from just playing around on stage, playing with the other actors, trying to find different ways to surprise people. Like she's the fish out of water, so she's coming into this incredibly repressed kingdom. How is she different? And one of the ways she's different is just the way she moves. She's from the swamp, so if you think that she's like slashing around in the swamp up to her waist, so like now her whole lower extremities have been free for the first time, and I was like, oh, that's really interesting, like the way she moves her hips and the way she moves her legs, and like she's like suddenly has freedom in a whole half a body that she never did before. And once I realized that, I was like, oh, that's really fun. It's the first time I've played a clown, and I've been fearful of that. It's a big swing, and you have to be so brave, and you have to still be earnest and honest, and you have to find humanity and groundedness even in the extreme. And there's a lot of physical comedy, and there's a lot of times on stage it's just me, and there's no music and there's no talking. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm on stage alone for 3.5 minutes in total silence. And please, dear God, please audience laugh. And so that I think has been like the scariest, but yet most rewarding piece. Go and you learn. And some shows you're like, nope, push that one too hard, or, oh, I can't wait to try that again, or, oh, I need to let that idea go. And I feel like that's the biggest challenge. It is not my most glamorous role. I'm barefoot most of the show. I come out, I've got critters and leeches on my back and animals in my hair, and I'm covered in mud, and then I get a terrible haircut, but there's something beautiful about her. What I love about the show is at the end, she doesn't come out all pretty and put together, and she wants love, but not compromising like who she is. There's a great line in the play that Sir Harry has where he says, Dauntless is unusual and Winifred is unusual, and maybe they can be unusual together. So she ends up finding her perfect match in someone just as unique and as herself. I don't enter until about 30 minutes into the show. It's a different preparation because I'm actually listening to the show going on. I crochet and I just try to stay calm. I look at myself in the mirror and look at myself in the eyeballs, and I'm like, all right. And it's just trying to find ease and play and love and confidence, I guess. But still, it's like my heart starts beating every time I crawl onto the stage to head to the moat.
Thanks for sticking around. I'm Tamsen Fadal.
I'm Dragoness. Kiss my feet or it's off with your head.
Drag the Musical is now in New York City at New World Stages. It's co-written by and starring one of our favorites from RuPaul's Drag Race. Let's send it back out to Paul Wontorek.
So we've seen drag in the legitimate theater. We've seen musicals about drag, plays about drag. We've seen drag stars on our stages. What do you want people to know about drag with Drag the Musical?
Well, we started it because it was because you have drag in musicals, but I was like, I want to do a musical that's on the drag queen's turf, and it's their world and it's their rules. So that was our goal going into it. And so it's not just the ooh, drag is feathers and fabulous. Yeah. It's a little of that, but it's also it smells and it's gross and it's sticky and it's disgusting and it costs too much money and...
Yeah, right. So you want people to know the smell of drag.
Yes, and you might experience it at New World Stages if you sit close enough.
I think she's coming. Yeah, I think she's coming. I think she's coming. The queen, she's coming.
So you play Miss Kitty, is that right?
Yes, Kitty Galloway.
Okay.
She's the leader of the Cat House, which is the arch nemesis drag house of the fish tank. Because cats and fish don't like each other, historically.
What's the story we're telling here?
Well, these two drag houses hate each other, and they've always hated each other, and they don't really know why they hate each other, but they do.
Right.
And then they get into some trouble, and they find out that they might need each other. And then beyond that, it's about a bunch of people who kind of find out something about themselves through the power of drag.
The cast is great. Some Broadway names that I love, and some drag names that I love, and you, of course, as Miss Kitty. What was it like assembling this group, and are you guys having fun over there?
We're just really lucky. Oh my God. It was really once we had people doing it, it lived with me and Tomas and Ash for so long, just as a piece of paper and a thing in our minds.
Yeah.
But once we had people singing our songs and they're really good singers and saying our jokes, and they're hilarious people and brilliant actors, it was this is alive now. It's amazing.
Isn't there a boy band icon also over there?
Yeah.
Joey McIntyre.
Yeah.
How's that?
It's great.
He did it in LA as well.
He did. His fans are I mean, if you think Drag Race fans are intense, no. New Kids fans, they win. They're amazing.
And that's going to do it for us. But for tickets, or if you want to check out extended cuts of all these interviews, head over to Broadway.com. I'm Tamsen Fadal, and this is The Broadway Show.